Launched almost a decade ago, the very first Moto G almost single-handedly disrupted the budget smartphone segment. But as Motorola went through the takeover from Google to Lenovo, and because of the growing competition from different Chinese brands, it kind of lost its charm. But if you look at all the launches from the company in 2022, I feel like Motorola has finally made a great comeback. And one of the best examples of this is the Moto G52, which my team has been testing for a little over 2 weeks now. It retails at a starting price of 14,500 rupees in India, which puts it in the same league as the quite successful Xiaomi Redmi Note 11. Besides the price, these phones bring a very similar set of specs as well. But something that stands out right away about the G52 is its design, especially this porcelain white variant that I have with me, which gives it a unique finish. Plus, with the metal-like polish on the camera module and the frames, it looks nothing but stunning. Now, don't get confused, it is still a plastic bag, but Motorola has used what it calls a PMMA finish to achieve this premium visual aesthetics. PMMA is a lighter, shatter-resistant alternative to glass, and I can certainly see how it impacts the phone. Here, the G52 is nearly 40 grams lighter than its predecessor, and the good thing is that it still packs a big 5,000 mAh battery inside. And despite being a lightweight phone, it's got the right amount of heft, and the slightly curved panel at the back ensures a comfortable grip on the hands as well. On top of this, Motorola has made sure that the front of the device looks equally premium with a very narrow chin, which has left quite an impression on me from the very first day that we started testing this phone. But what's even more interesting here is that Motorola has offered a POLED panel on the G52, just like on the more expensive Moto H30 Pro. And in case you're unaware, POLED or plastic OLED is a flexible, thinner, and more shock-proof alternative to regular OLED panels. It also allows the device to retain a slimmer form factor, all the while retaining every perk of a typical AMOLED screen. As a result, this display produces punchy colors with incredible contrast. So I am sure that you will enjoy watching movies and series on the screen. Speaking of which, the Moto G52 has also secured Wide 1L1 certification, and its brightness level is sufficient for both indoor and outdoors too. For audio, there's a set of dual speakers that supports Dolby Atmos audio. I wouldn't say that its sound quality is something cut above, but the vocals sound pretty clear here, and it has a decent bit of bass as well. Likewise, I've faced no issues regarding call quality on this phone, and its proximity sensor works fairly well too. But the one area where most manufacturers don't put much effort into these budget and mid-range smartphones is haptics, and the Moto G52 is no exception. Its vibration feedback feels very loose, because of which you might even miss a couple of calls despite having the phone in your pockets. So this is the aspect where Motorola could have certainly done a better job by offering a slightly better vibration motor. Anyways, talking about the chipset inside the Moto G52, it's the Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 SoC here. Built on a 6nm architecture, this processor has earned quite a praise in terms of energy efficiency, and that's evident on this phone too. On our test, it was easily providing 8 to 9 hours of screen on time, and like the Moto G71 that I reviewed a while back, we are very impressed with its standby time as well. Similarly, charging the phone from 0 to 100% takes about 1 hour with the included 33-watt charger. Aside from being power efficient, the Snapdragon 680 fares well for your day-to-day tasks as well. It can easily handle your light multitasking needs, and scrolling through the interface feels fairly smooth too, thanks to the 90Hz refresh rate on board. However, this is not that powerful of a chipset, especially in the gaming arena. For instance, PUBG Mobile caps out at just balanced graphics and medium frame rates here, and even in this setting, you will notice some micro stutters and frame drops every once in a while. So for the best possible experience, I would recommend dialing it down to smooth graphics and high frame rates. Diablo Immortal, which is a recent drop on the Google Play Store, yields fairly good results at medium graphics, although the maximum you can go here is just 30 FPS. We also tried the new Apex Legends on this phone, and it renders stable gameplay at smooth graphics and normal frame rates. But jumping to other higher settings results in noticeable lags and stutters. So if gaming is your top priority, you'd be better off by extending your budget a little bit for the Realme 9 Speed Edition instead, which offers the best gaming experience in the mid-range price bracket. The software is another area where the Moto G52 scores a big win against its competition, especially against other Chinese OEMs. First off, it boots on the latest Android 12 with Motorola's MyUX on top, which is already something, given how most brands are still shipping their budget and mid-range handsets with Android 11. And Motorola has also promised a year of software and 3 years of security patches for the G52. Now, as you'd expect, this version of the MyUX interface offers a Pixel phone-like experience. The default Android skin has gotten quite refreshing and so feature-rich with Android 12 that its customization options are on par, if not better, than most custom ROMs out there. Aside from stock UI, Motorola phones are also known for their no-nonsense bloatware experience, but here there are a few third-party apps like Josh and Daily Hunt preloaded on the device. Yes, you can uninstall them with a few taps, but this is the first time we've seen bloatware on a Motorola handset. And we hope that this isn't something the brand is planning to continue with its future releases, since a clean user experience is what Motorola has always been associated with. Okay, let's talk about the cameras now. Here, the Moto G52's cameras array is pretty much the same as you would find on most budget smartphones right now. And after shooting lots of photos from this guy, we found that its normal images are slightly on the cooler side. And unlike how Xiaomi and Realme phones tend to favor oversaturated photos, the colors here look fairly natural. But it prefers slightly contrast-heavy processing, which means the images cannot retain much shadow details. This is also true for ultra-wide-angle shots. However, the overall detail from the 8-megapixel sensor is expectedly little this time around. Okay, now talking about the portrait images, well, they don't really retain a natural skin tone, but I'd say it has a balanced color science overall. As you can see, it tends to blow the background when shooting outdoors or against the light. So HDR processing could have certainly been a lot better. Selfies, on the other hand, do come with decent background exposure, but sadly, the skin tone is not that consistent all the time. During low light, the night mode shots do a pretty good job of controlling the exposure and retaining details, especially in a dark environment. In a somewhat well-lit area, though, there isn't much of a difference between the regular nighttime and night mode photos. Overall, the Moto G52 can capture decent photos for the price, although there is still a lot of room for improvement, and that's especially true in the videos as it can only record up to 1080p 30fps resolution from both the front and back cameras. And yes, the stabilization is not that great here and the videos come off a bit contrasty too. Turning on stabilization does deliver fairly steadier results, but there is still some jerkiness every now and again. Okay, wrapping up this review, the Moto G52 is an excellent phone for the price, no doubt. It ticks almost all the boxes for a great all-round smartphone experience, be it in terms of design, display, software, or battery. Granted that the cameras could have been a bit better here, but most phones in this price range have strictly average cameras too, so that's not a big issue. So yeah, the Moto G52 is an easy recommendation if you want an all-rounder mid-range phone right now. Also, one thing that I would like to add is I believe Motorola has made great decisions lately to re-establish itself in the budget and mid-range segments in 2022, and I really hope that this trend continues in the future as well. So guys, that was all for our full review of the Moto G52. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Till then, I'm Pratima, and thank you so much for watching.